We're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground here at Sanders. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Second down, back to Sanders. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. The Eagles at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So the 14 yards actually takes them from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Go. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, a new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there with touchdown number number 7 on the year. And the Eagles put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. So the drive's going to start with Pollard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So this is something we didn't see all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. They'll go again with Sanders. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there, and they are able to add on to their advantage. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field. And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. That right there makes up for that missed extra point they had after the first score.
Yeah, they went ahead and got back to level by going for 2 and having the normal amount of points, so that works out pretty well for them. And if you're the kicker, don't worry about it too much. Now they got back to where they want to be, they'll try it out there for the next one.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. I respect both sides on that play, CD. For him to be able to hold on to that football and the impressive tackle, wow.
Did you notice the look between the two of them as they came off the ground? That look did say the word respect.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Prescott now. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. The Prescott to Schultz there for the Cowboy first. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
First down, Prescott. It's caught inside the 25. A big play here for Dallas. 53 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Prescott to throw it. Touchdown! CeeDee Lamb from 6 yards away. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. Brett Maher on for the extra point. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run here with Sanders. They find some open field here. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 90 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have him.
As Sanders has it poked free. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. If you got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there's a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. There he goes, left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only do they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way into the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy who made the play, he gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation, time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Prescott to throw on 4th. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Schultz. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their deep.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
On 2nd and goal, Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
Quez Watkins.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as they'll go for two.
They'll turn to Sanders.
And he is into the end zone. So they get two more on the board here just before halftime. Needed a couple yards for the two-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick-6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Elliott now to add the extra point. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Oh, and Lewis lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Wait a second, that's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a first down, right? He won the penalty.
I am so confused right now. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But we're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now,
and my goodness, another interception. And the Eagles are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle, and he'll bring this one inside the 35.
114 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Now the second-year man. Here's Kenneth Gainwell.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Complete. Smith has it. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith.
And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
They'll run with Sanders. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second down and 3.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, complete. It's Schultz.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Prescott now from the 50.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Off the play fake, Prescott. And they're going to get him. He's sagged back around the 28.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Prescott. And now here's another interception.
And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout. But you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now Sanders. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Sanders. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. He's got down. Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Pollard going to try the right side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Defensively, with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
Play action now. Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll try and run it here. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Now a carry for Sanders. And some room to run now. And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out. Man, 188 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Sanders is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and they did just that here in the 4th quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, this goes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And a nice nice run past the 30-yard line there. The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll run with Sanders. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Hurts sets up to throw it.
And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's going to let it fly. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play here for Dallas. 58 yards.
But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there.
And that's a rare bright spot in what's overall.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line.
Let's go now.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Hustle, hustle.
They gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Eagles, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week.
Big about her, petty, don't matter. Far as that teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off.
Yeah.